We all have our own concepts of who we think we are, but actually, we don't know. And I know that may sound insane, but stay with me. Most of what we do day to day is as a result of subconscious scripts which run on autopilot in our mind. We identify ourselves through these frameworks of who we think we are, and we rarely step outside of those frameworks to get to know ourselves on a deeper level. We define ourselves through labels like mother, or teacher, or someone's partner, and we live day to day in the hustle and bustle of schedules and having things ready on time, and scrolling through social media and checking in with the latest app and filling our time with more and more of everything that we think we're supposed to do. And before we know it, another day has gone by, until a day becomes a week, which becomes a month, which becomes a year, and then our body or mind breaks down and forces us to stop. If we take the metaphor of a flower bud tightly closed, in order for it to bloom, it has to be nourished at its roots, and in doing so, it reaches down into those roots from where its own life force moves up the stem and its petals begin to open and blossom. The flower isn't watered at the petals, it's watered at the roots. And we're very much like that, but nobody teaches us that information. Once we get past all of our conditioning, the mental noise, the expectations of other people, and discover the essence of who we are beneath all of the autopilot duties we perform, it can vastly differ from who we thought we were. And quite often, we discover hidden gifts, suppressed talents, and empowering healing abilities. And you may still think this sounds insane, because of course you know who you are. How could you not know? You're you in your body, living your life with your name and your status, and you know where you live. So of course you know who you are. But that's the whole point. We very rarely step outside of those constructs to check in with ourselves, and if we're living from the roots of who we actually are. We generally do things because others are doing the same. We follow the same social trends. We put our goals and dreams into others' hands, and we live a hurried timeline governed by clocks. And if you still think this sounds insane, look around. We've evolved to a point where we use external sources to validate our existence because we don't trust ourselves enough to give our body what it needs. We use a watch to tell us how much sleep we need, an app to tell us when to eat, AI to provide us with a diagnosis, which in some cases is just another label that keeps us stuck. And we need other people or institutions to decide things for us because we're filled with self-doubt. We follow the same generic practices that could be to our detriment. Just because everybody else is doing the same, it does not mean that it's good or right for us, because our nature has its own individual prescription, its own unique talents, and its own requirements. That's the beauty in discovering the essence of who we are. Once we get out of our heads and into our bodies, we start to understand more what is right for us moment to moment. We feel more certain about things and make the right decisions. We feel more empowered. We become more confident and peaceful, and everything flows much better. Our health improves, our relationships improve, and things in general start to flourish for us because we move in the right direction towards thriving. If we go back to the metaphor of the flower, which has now come into full bloom, it simply exists from its essence, upright, nourished, radiant, peaceful, simply being and existing in its own beautiful nature. And we each have the ability to bloom in the same way, to feel more secure within ourselves and sure within ourselves, And when we understand how to get in touch with our nature and give it what it needs, we thrive. Just like a flower, we all need to live in the right environment with the right conditions and with the right cyclical alignments. We need the same nourishment because we're made of the same substance. Ultimately, we're a living organism, no different to a flower. If you'd like support discovering the roots of your nature, I'm available on Messenger or on the email at naturalinnerthority@gmail.com. Thank you.